What does environmental justice mean in the context of social work practice?
You know, in the immigration and refugees course, we use environmental justice as a lens to help students understand the lived experiences of displaced immigrants and refugees. With the increase in climate disasters, it's serving as a push factor and bringing many immigrants and refugees to the United States. So in this course, we help students understand what that experience is like for immigrants and refugees settling in a new community where perhaps not all their needs are being met, right?
We really look at the racialized history of the United States and the policies that have come about from that. The built environment, for example, these urban planning disasters that have ripped through, poor immigrant, marginalized neighborhoods, and how the redlining for that. So all of this has led to the current status today where we see very segregated neighborhoods that have differential access to clean air, like you talked about, clean water, access to green space, tree cover, all of that. And so we really understand, but the history has led to the point we're at today.
Things like extreme weather events and the fact that they lead to fatalities and injuries and all kinds of mental health effects. Heat stress, which is another example where we see this leading to health-related illness and death. There are communities and populations that are disproportionately impacted and that have disproportionately high risk of suffering from severe outcomes. And I think this is where environmental racism comes into the picture, because when we look at specific communities, for example, that may be impacted by exposures, such as due to toxic effects of pollution, as one example, we know that there are communities that are disproportionately impacted. So this is just one or two examples. For example, about older adults. When older adults are facing an extreme weather event or some kind of climate change threat, we have to think through, if we're going to be prepared as a community, what are the specific needs of, say, older adults who maybe can't respond to an evacuation order, or maybe who are living in a long-term care facility, or who may have other needs relative to their to the issues that they are coping with. I don't know that disaster preparedness is necessarily one size fits all, right? So we have to think about the ways to make the system more responsive to the needs of communities and populations, because social workers, we're very in tune to what those needs are.
Many social workers go into mental health and into mental health settings. So why would they need to know about environmental justice?
Particularly thinking about eco-anxiety and climate grief. We know that this is an emerging understanding of particularly younger people, the younger generation are talking about eco-anxiety and climate grief. Trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder that we see after disasters many times. Social workers' roles in disaster mental health. It's a tremendous opportunity for social work to play a really significant role, and they already do in many ways in terms of disaster mental health.
So environmental justice intersects with so many areas of social work practice, which is why our certificate in environmental justice and social work contains courses not just in environmental justice and social work, but also in legislative advocacy, social work and healthcare, social work practice with immigrants, refugees, stress, trauma, and coping, as well as community organizing.